and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be reviewing the Sharpie Creative Marker that has a paint effect without the bleed. So I was very curious when I saw this as to what it meant, and I decided to pick it up. This was $20 USD at my local Walmart. It came with 12 assorted bullet tip markers. It does say that it is a marker. It doesn't exactly say that it's paint. I'm not sure what kind of ink it uses, but it does have a paint-like texture. It says that there's no prepping or priming needed, colors layer without bleeding, marks on paper, metal, wood, ceramic, glass, rock, and canvas, and that it's water resistant and that will not bleed through papers. It does say that you have to store these markers horizontally, so you can't put it in like a container that they're sitting upright in. I was very surprised to see this kind of a set because I kind of thought back to a Posca marker, which is a paint pen, and that's what I thought this was, but it doesn't say it's made with any type of acrylic or anything. But as you can see here, it's very smooth and bold. I really like that about it, but it definitely had the smell of paint when I opened it up. I wasn't sure if it was a paint-like ink that they used for this kind of marker, but it was definitely very interesting. I did find out that this was a lot more than I expected, and when it says no priming is needed, when you use a Posca marker, you have to take the tip and you have to push the tip down multiple times so that the paint in the ink can come out into the felt tip pen part. With this one, these are just ready to use right out of the box. As you can see, I'm just opening them and using them. No priming needed. I don't have to accidentally get the felt tip end stuck inside the barrel, because that has happened to me with Posca markers before, and they're very bright. Even the white on this white sheet of paper is way whiter than the paper. It's way brighter than it. And the best part is it did not bleed through the paper at all. You could barely even see anything on the other side of the paper, and this is a sheet of computer paper, nothing special, not cardstock or anything. And the only thing that came off on my hands, as you can see there when I showed you my hand, there were little specks, was the felt from the marker, which I thought was strange, but it was honestly fine, and the felt from the marker didn't stain anything, so I thought that was a pretty cool deal. So I decided to test this out, since it says you can paint on a canvas with these, on a piece of cardstock with computer paper behind it. So here I am just doodling away. The one thing that I did notice was that it's a very streaky marker. It is so streaky, and it smells very much like paint. It's not overwhelming, but if you have it near your face at all, you can definitely tell that it smells like paint in some way. And as you can see, it made the paper kind of curl up a little bit over there in the corner. And then I decided to use white on it right afterwards because I wanted to see how fast it dries. And it dried pretty fast because I was able to use the white marker on it, but it did stain the white marker. It didn't impede at all on the actual marker though, because it still drew perfectly. And this is what color looks like on the actual black background. And I wanted to see what it would look like with a different background. And it also did not bleed through the cardstock, which I was pretty excited for. And here is more color on color. And as you can see, the only thing that came off was me basically scribbling everywhere, and it just came off onto the computer paper, but none of it was any bleeding through the actual cardstock. Up next, I wanted to test this on wood because it did say that you could use it on wood, and I wanted to see what that would look like. So I used the white marker that had the black stain on it from earlier. I wanted to see if that affected it at all, and it didn't. It looks perfectly fine. It's beautiful. It was so smooth when I was drawing and coloring on the wooden piece of embroidery circle that I had, and I was honestly very surprised. I still couldn't figure out exactly what kind of a marker is this. It was very interesting to me, and that was the brightest color I have. And then I decided to use one of the darker colors, but not like a black color, because I wanted to see what this would look like with one of the colorful colors, because when sometimes you paint with things, you can see the wood grain texture through the paint. But with this, it completely covered it and it looked beautiful. Unfortunately, there is no blending, so you can't blend one marker to another, but it did look gorgeous. And so I was able to make this little purple and white circle, which would be really cute to use for embroidery hoops. And as you can see, this is what it looks like, no wood grain showing, and it's already dry. That's how fast this dries. I'm very surprised, and it doesn't stain or smudge or anything. So far I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. I wanted to give it one more test to see what it would look like on metal. Here we have a black metal stand that I've been using for my phone, my iPad, etc. And I wanted to see how the bright colors would look on this. I used the green first, and oh my gosh, it looked so beautiful on this. I could not believe my eyes with how bright it was, and it was on metal of all things. But the only thing is, as you can see here, it's super streaky with the first layer. So it's definitely not something that comes out super bold when you first use it. And it's something that definitely leaves streaks and edges that aren't finished. So if you do want to do more with it and add more layers, wait for it to dry. As you can see here, I didn't have to wait very long to dry. I did not do anything to this. I did not make any cuts to this. So whatever you're seeing is me waiting for it to dry. Of course, it's sped up, but it doesn't take very long. So then I go over it again with another layer, and it's still really streaky, and it does feel like it picks up a little bit of the marker from underneath when you're layering it. That's one of the only downsides I can really see with this marker set, but besides that, it's actually really nice. And I'm going to put a third layer on this so that we can see what it looks like when it has the third layer on it. And as you can see here, the third layer going on after giving it a little bit more time to dry has a little bit of a streak still to it, but it's so much more vibrant. And this is on pure black metal. This metal is dark, and you can see the beautiful color on this. Unfortunately, it just, after 3 layers, it was still streaky. That was the only thing that I was kind of annoyed about, but besides that, it was actually really nice looking. And then I decided to use a black marker on the black metal to see what exactly it would look like, if it would be something that you could see. I did try to see if it would rub off first, but nope, it didn't come off. I tried rubbing it pretty hard, and it was just perfectly fine, and I didn't even let it dry for that long. And as you can see, the black marker is so deep and dark, it's actually showing up on the metal. I really like how these pens came out. I would give them an 8 out of 10 only because the felt did keep coming off. It is a little bit streaky, and it's pretty expensive for a set of 12 markers, but overall, I think they're worth the price. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all later. Bye!